I have a question for you. How would you live your life if you knew that failure was not your enemy, but your greatest teacher? How differently would you approach challenges if you knew that every setback was actually setting you up for a comeback? What would you do if you knew that failing an exam wasn't the end of the world, but the very beginning of something greater? What if I told you that failure wasn't a wall, but a door? A door to a person you are destined to become. Because that's exactly what failure is. It's a stepping stone, not a stopping point. And today, I'm here to tell you, failing an exam does not define your future, but what you do after does. You see, the world doesn't tell you this often, but let me be the one to say it loud and clear. You are not defined by test results. You are defined by what you do next. In fact, your entire future doesn't hinge on the grade you saw on that paper. It hinges on your reaction. Are you going to crumble, walk away, and let this moment control you? Or are you going to stand up, stare failure in the face and say, "You haven't seen the last of me. This is not the end of me. This is not how my story ends"? You see, exams have this way of defining success in a narrow, temporary, and often unfair way. A few hours, a piece of paper, and suddenly it feels like your whole world is being judged by a single moment in time. But friends, life is not an exam room. Your potential, your worth, your capacity to succeed cannot be measured by one test or one result. When you fail an exam, the easiest instinct is to run away, maybe from the subject, from the course, or even from yourself. We feel like the ground beneath us has shifted, like the world is pointing a finger at us, laughing. But hear me loud and clear. Failure is not a life sentence. It is a lesson. A lesson not in your limitation, but in your strength, in your resilience, in your way to stand up and fight back again. Let's be honest here. Failure hurts. It feels like the ground has opened beneath you, like all your hard work was for nothing. But let me stop you right there. Failure is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your comeback. It's one day going to become a throwback. But wait for a second. Reflect. Think about the moment in life when you are tested the most. I'm not talking about exams in school. I'm talking about the real moment when life hits you hard. When you lost something precious, maybe you faced rejection, maybe you felt powerless. But you didn't stay down, did you? No, you didn't. You rose. This is another one of those moments, another chance to rise. Think of some greatest minds in history. People who revolutionized the world with their ideas. Do you think they succeed on the first try? Do you think they never knew failure, never doubted themselves? Well, let me share the truth with you. The most successful people in the world, those who have reached heights we only dream of, A lot of them have failed more times than we can count. They've stumbled, they've fallen, they've doubted themselves, but they didn't run, they didn't quit because they knew that failure was just a stepping stone to something greater. Let me tell you about Albert Einstein. We all know his name, right? He, in fact, is synonymous with the word genius. But did you know that the great Albert Einstein failed his university entrance exam? Yes, the man who gave us the theory of relativity, who shaped our understanding of the universe, failed to get into college on his first attempt. But the lesson here is, did he let that stop him? Did he let one exam decide the course of his life? No! He persevered, he worked harder, he didn't give up, and because of that, he became one of the greatest scientific minds in history. He became one of the greatest scientists of all time. Now, I'm going to ask you something. And I want you to really consider this. Are you going to let one exam, one setback, one momentary defeat determine the entire trajectory of your life? Does one failure erase your intelligence, your passion, your dreams? No! It cannot and it will not unless you allow it. You didn't fail an exam because you're incapable. You didn't fail because you lack intelligence or passion. You have failed because of stress, lack of preparation, or perhaps you are dealing with challenges in your life that no one else could see. Or maybe you got cheated by some exam board committee. But those reasons do not define you. They do not write your story. They only fill one chapter. And now it is your responsibility to flip to the next page. You have the power to turn the page and write what is next. So will you let the next chapter of your story be about regret and giving up? That after this guy or this girl failed the exam, the next thing in his life is that he stopped, maybe commit suicide, or stopped what he or she might have achieved in life. The question is not whether you fail. The question is what you will do after that. Will you allow this exam to dictate your future? Or will you rise and say, that is not how my story ends? Your worth is not in the grade you receive, but it is in the effort you give. Success is not about perfection. It's about persistence. So don't run away because you fail an exam. Stand up and face it again stronger and wiser, because now you know what needs to be done, because now you know where to improve, and now you know the feeling of falling short, which means you also know how badly you want to rise again. And when you fail, when you stumble, when you fall flat on your face, that's when you are given the greatest gift of all. The opportunity to rise, the opportunity to rebuild. And you see, the real value is not in avoiding the failure. It's on learning how to rebuild stronger, smarter and tougher than you were before. I used to tell my guys, the person you become after walking out of failure is far superior than the person you were when you were succeeding. Have you ever seen a person who have never failed before? Never faced any adversity, never tasted failure in a lifetime? Then you think they are lucky, right? But you are wrong, because they are one-sided in the reality of life, thinking everything is about happiness. The concept of sadness to them is abstract. They never felt it. They literally know nothing about it. What do they know? What do they know of resilience? What do they know of perseverance? Nothing. Just leave them there. They will never learn until the real life eats them. And trust me, it is going to eat them differently. It is going to eat them hard. Most of them break down beyond repair because they used to think life is all about this joy, and that is why they are weak. But you are not weak because you failed. You are strong because you have the courage to face it, a story to tell, an adventure to explore. And here you are, standing at your own crossroad. You don't know where to pass through. You don't know what to do. What will you do? Will you let this moment define you, or will you rise and rebuild and come back stronger? Failure is simply a feedback. It's life telling you this wasn't the right approach, but you are closer now. It's just life telling you try again. And every time you try, every time you persist, every time you fail, it means you are an inch closer to that breakthrough. Failure is temporary, but quitting is forever. So, I challenge you today, right now, don't run away, don't hide from others, face your failure head on, because that is what true success is built upon. It's not about never failing, it's about always getting back up. Imagine this, years from now, you are looking back on this exact moment. Do you want to remember it as a time you gave up? Or the moment you dug deep? The moment you find your strength and rose above what seemed like an impregnable wall, or rose above what seemed like an insurmountable defeat? Failure is just a moment. It's not your destiny. It's a tool, a teacher, a mirror showing you where you can grow. But let me be crystal clear. The world is full of people who let their dreams die after one setback. But you are not one of those people. You are a fighter. You are a dreamer. You are a doer. You are built for more. You are built to rise. And when you walk out here today, remember this. Exams are tests of knowledge, but failure is the ultimate test of character. And I believe with everything in me that you have the character to overcome this. This moment doesn't define you. Your next move does. So don't run. Don't quit. This is your moment to rise, and I promise you, your best chapter in life is still yet unwritten. But that is if you do not run from the pages. So, take the pen, my friend. This is your moment. Not to run, but to rise. To prove to yourself that you are more than any exam results, that you have the heart, the grit, that you have the fire to overcome whatever lies your way. This exam is just one hurdle. Your dreams, your future, your potential, they are limitless. So stand tall. Don't run from failure. Run towards growth. Don't let all the moments of defeat rob you of a lifetime of success. The world needs what you have to offer, and no exam on the surface of the earth can take that away from you. So I ask you now, will you run away from failure, or will you stand tall and run towards your dreams? You have the greatness in you. Like the giant of science, Isaac Newton, You have the greatness in you, like the giant of medicine Ben Carson. You have the greatness in you, just like the giant of nursing Nightingale and many others that came before you. They weren't perfect. They failed more times than they succeeded, but they kept on going, and because they kept going, they changed the world. These people faced failures, obstacles, and rejection. But it was through the struggles that they find their strength. And that same strength is what I see in you. A world changer, a history maker, someone who has the potential to rise above every failure and create something magnificent from it. Now write, and don't let this be the moment you run. Put it in that page, that this is the moment to stand and rise.